Hey folks, I am very excited to bring you this next series on narcissists because it has helped me on my journey to get back to the source. And ever since I realized these dynamics, I have seen it in so many places. So hopefully this video series will be of help to you too. So firstly, narcissistic personality disorder, there's a diagnostic criteria. If you see more than 5 of these indications, you are most probably dealing with a narcissist. They have a grandiose sense of self. Example, exaggerates achievements and talents, expects to be recognized as superior without consummate achievements, is preoccupied with fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, beauty, or ideal love, believes that he or she is special and unique and can only be understood by or should associate with other special or high status people or institutions, requires excessive admiration. You can see this a lot on social media, any kind of reactions or posts that elicit shock value. Has a sense of entitlement, unreasonable expectations of especially favorable treatment, or automatic compliance with his or her expectations. So basically, if you don't agree with them, you become the enemy. Is interpersonally exploitative, as in takes advantage of others to achieve his or her ends. Lacks empathy, is unwilling to recognize or identify with feelings or need of others, which also includes never being wrong, never apologizing, is often envious of others or believes that others are envious of him or her. Shows arrogant, haughty behaviors or attitudes. With narcissists, they don't want love, they want attention, and any kind of attention, positive or negative. If they can't have your admiration, they will accept your rage. So they basically need to provoke some kind of response. Their goal is to get any response. It solidifies in their minds their power over you. So they feel like they're calling the shots, that you are weak or gullible or easy to manipulate or vulnerable or whatever they have labeled you in their mind. That means you are less than them. It is always about supply. They have this empty hole that they continuously need to fill, which is why they create so much drama, havoc, confusion, focus on negativity in others or the world, disguised as care, love, concern, or awareness. You see this again in social media. You see constant conspiracy theory posting in one side, and on the other side they'll be like, "Oh, the world is awesome," just to get any kind of reaction. And if the supply stops, they will be forced to look at themselves and see their flaws, which they cannot stand. So they need to deflect it. They could degrade you to others or make themselves look like a hero. Whenever there is a quietness, remember that it's a calm before the storm, and they'll pick holidays or special days to you to get to you. This is the biggest red flag. Say it's your birthday, that is when they will decide to call you to give you bad news or give you the cheapest gift. A definition of narcissistic abuse is covert and often disguised as love and care, and it's anything but. It's not a single act of cruelty like an insulting comment or verbal abuse laced with a string of profanities. It is insidious, gradual, usually over years, and intentional erosion of a person's self-worth. It's a combination of emotional and psychological abuse aimed at undermining a person's identity for the sole purpose of obtaining control for personal gain. It can involve patterns of dominance, manipulation, intimidation, emotional coercion, withholding, dishonesty, extreme selfishness, guilt-mongering, rejection, stonewalling, gaslighting, which I will talk about later, financial abuse, extreme jealousy, and possessiveness. They have a rage if you don't give them the supply they need. So when the narc stops receiving the kind of positive feedback they need to satisfy their insecurities, they will quickly change. Suddenly that loving partner might become an enemy. They will go into a shame rage where if they make a mistake, They put other people down to try to make themselves feel better. A big indication that you are in the presence of a narc. Over time, they will demand more attention from their partners that can manifest in insidious ways. In the cycle, they idealize a partner or friend. Then the minute there is some kind of falter in the fantasy of who that person is, they devalue them, almost knocking their knees out from under them and discard them. It is a defense mechanism for them. So the script is, you are amazing, but if you stop being amazing for whatever reason, you are no longer someone that I want to align my star with. So you are useless to me. They will often push your boundaries and try to get you to show up more for them than you want to initially. Example, compel the partner to make sacrifices or major commitments early in the relationship. Refuse and you'll likely experience some negative consequences, potentially including verbal and emotional abuse. There are two main sources of supply. Primary narcissistic supply, PNS, is anyone or anything that can provide attention, public fame or infamy, private admiration or hate. It can be a random and casual supply. The secondary narcissistic supply, SNS, is a more regular supply. People they will see every day. This supply needs to be positive, and any show of negativity will have a supply cut off in the worst way. This is where the rage comes in. This is a reserve for when the primary narcissistic supply runs short. The narcs will have two phases depending on their supply. One is euphoric, where they will feel elated and well-being, so the positive sides. And the other side of the coin is dysphoric, where they will feel sad, anxious, restless, irritated. So the euphoric cycle will carry on until the loss of supply will create a dysphoria. They will display rage and will try to find control. Then they will detach and go into fantasy using messengers to communicate for them. They will move into narcissistic hibernation, a depressive cycle, and then they will start to feel a change that will heal, make them feel in control again, and then look for the next achievement. This is called reactive repertoire. How narcs are created, apart from the golden child, it starts in childhood or toddlers. They get physical or emotional abuse or neglect. Parents, also being narcs, are not emotionally available. The few emotions that they have, they will hold on to. They are not taught to be fully rounded, only noticed when they do something special. So that is getting conditional love. Brutal superego that constantly talks to them on how worthless they are, and getting rejection and neglect from parents is a big part of it. Spoiling the child also helps, so being spoiled and neglected at the same time. They would be abandoned, but given what they want to keep them busy or quiet, which teaches them that they just need to throw tantrums to get what they want. Narcs are basically 2-year-olds in adult bodies who are not taught how to deal with their emotions and frustrations. In the next video, I will go into the tactics used by narcs.